I would prefer to come here over any other theater. I love the feel of it, the people that come here, the movies that are presented, the environment, the town. I just love everything about it.
There are people who come in like religiously, like weekly. I wouldn't say it's, you know, strictly like Bexley, you know, if people from outside, you know, all around Columbus come here like for a reason.
Oh, it has an old feel. You know, sometimes when you go out, you want something new and different. This has the older feel, and that's also very nice. I love it here.
Jeff Frank, I'm the president of Drexel Theaters, and I've had the company for 29 years, and I've had this theater for 29 years. It's been an interesting, fun 29 years of showing movies to Columbus and Central Ohio. We're kind of a regional draw, even though we're based in Bexley and we're a neighborhood theater, and a lot of people from Bexley do come. We choose our movies very carefully. We pick movies we think that we can market, find an audience to come and see. We also pick movies that we think should show in Columbus and in this area that, you know, may not come to Columbus if we don't bring them in. For the most part, we stick to our main sort of mission, which are bringing in art films and independent films. And for that, we tend to have to draw from about a 3 or 4 county area, and because you need that kind of base to support these kind of films. So people, you know, sometimes drive anywhere from, you know, 20 minutes to an hour to get here to see a movie, because, you know, we have people coming from out of state sometimes if we show a certain movie, because we're the closest theater they have to see it. You know, I enjoy finding the right movies to show, working with all the Hollywood and you know, independent film distributors, and also marketing films, getting people to come and see what we think are unique movies, and that's part of the excitement of doing it, and all the special shows that we do here that we think make the Drexel unique, and unlike, you know, your megaplexes and your big, you know, big chain corporate theaters. We're small, we're independent, we're neighborhood, we're all about independent films and art films, and, you know, seeing movies and having fun watching movies.
I've never seen a bad movie here. They're always great movies. The crowd here is always very into the movies. They always have very good crowds, very full theaters, and it seems to be a very intellectual crowd. They seem to have very avid moviegoers that come here.
The better movies are here. It takes a different kind of a crowd to come to a theater like this to see those movies. They're much more interesting. They make you think. They're not the boring mainstream, run-of-the-mill stuff. There will always be a need for an art theater like this.
When you own a company, it's sort of, you know, one, it's a challenge to run your own, you know, have employees and, you know, make it every year financially, and to keep a business afloat. And this business is a very complicated business. Nobody knows in the movie business, with rare exceptions, how films are going to do. Until a movie opens, that's the big question. How is it going to do? Will people come and see it? Nobody knows until that film opens up and word of mouth gets out there, and that still is the #1 reason people go to the movies, is they hear from somebody, or they hear, oh, it must be a good film, I don't want to miss it. We do special events like The Room, where we're the only theater in one of only 2 theaters in Ohio showing The Room, where people can come out at midnight and throw plastic spoons at the movie screen. We're going to do more and more of that, you know, specialized series of films. We're working on 3 or 4 right now that we're going to watch. Midnight movies, just trying to find ways to create community with the films we bring in, and bring in new audiences.
It's just fun to, you know, talk about movies with them, and I'd like to think that they think we have some good customer service, because we have something to talk about beyond like small talk. I think that really brings them back.
The neighborhood's nice, just in general. It's pretty easy to park, and good time.
I love the Drexel. The Drexel is the last of the great movie theaters. They have big screens, old comfortable chairs, and in fact we live on the other side of town, and we come here, we have dinner, and we come to a movie because they just pick great films here every single time, and we know that we're never going to be disappointed.
Of course, we have a cafe on premises, we have the first cinema cafe, and I think in Ohio, and probably one of the first in the country here at the Drexel. So, you know, you can have a beer and you can have wine or mixed drink or a burger with your movie and bring it right in here. So that's kind of unusual, and it's still something that a lot of people don't know about.
I don't think it's changed at all, which is what I love about it. It still has that that small old town feel to it. When we go to Easton to see a movie, I told him I'd rather not go to a movie. I'd rather just skip it. I'd rather come here.
There's just so many other avenues today for people to see filmed entertainment that it's made it more of a challenge for movie theaters. But I think the final analysis still is there's nothing that can really compete with seeing a movie with an audience in a darkened room where you experience a film with other people. You know, that's still the magic part of seeing movies in a movie theater. To me, that's something that you don't get at home on your 42-inch, plasma screen, and because the phone's going to ring, and the dog's barking next door, and it's not a communal experience. And I think movies still are there. People still want that experience.